Hey guys, it's Autumn here, and today I am going to be telling you a couple D&D stories. I am drawing someone from our D&D campaign who will be playing into the first story that I will be telling you, but given how well the video on my character Alexandra went, I thought maybe you guys would want to hear stories of our D&D campaign. So we'll start with the first part of the story. We are in a place called Amber Sun, and we're sent to be guards because we're paying off college tuition, something like that, blah blah blah, long story that our DM explained to us that I don't remember. And our first mission as guards is to go down into these caverns and into this like warded looking hatch and make sure that it's safe for miners to continue to go mining and find the materials that they need. So my group, which consists of myself, who is a drow named Alexandra, a Gensei, like a genie kind of person, a fire Gensei named Ambriel, an Aesir, something like that, like partial god named Faraday, and a fighter whose name I tend to forget, that is played by my friend Connor, and a drunken dwarf who we have nicknamed Zimmy, because I believe his name is Zimgul. The other fighter is Dreyfus. There we go. I remember names very well for my party. So while we're down in this, we go through the caves and then down underneath this hatch that was warded, and none of us can read the runes on it. And we eventually, after solving puzzles and then doing things that were not puzzles because we're smart, we end up in this like a ritual room, kind of like a cult area, with depictions of Helm, who is Faraday's god or patron god or something, and she has the Helm emblem tattooed on her arm. And she sees Helm being killed and then Helm being resurrected. It appears on like tapestries, and she prays. And our wonderfully intelligent dwarf decides that he wants to pull the lid off of a coffin that is on top of like an altar in this room, in this cult chamber, and try and step in it. Can't step in it. It's warded with protection spells. And then he puts the lid on the coffin and then tries to push it off the altar, but he can't move it again. And out of this coffin pops a tiefling. The tiefling that I am drawing for you today. Or at least we believed he was a tiefling. He introduced himself as Dalcon of Barbs, and he's something. He was described to us initially as a tiefling wearing nothing but loose-fitting pants with a swimmer's body. And it was very interesting because he immediately charmed, which is a spell, I believe it's a spell, or a cantrip, it's something like that. He immediately charmed Faraday, and she began to listen to every word he said after being hostile towards him initially. So there's that. And then the only thing he wants from us is a drink or to know where he is, and says he's been asleep in this coffin for 500 years, blah blah blah. Then, not to any of our surprise, after we lead him out of this chamber, he goes up the ladder through the hatch first, with Faraday following, and Faraday ends up standing or sitting on the hatch, I don't recall quite what, to make it so we are not able to exit the hatch. So we are trapped, and he says, Faraday, keep them there, I'll see you later, and leaves through these caverns and out into Amber Sun. So I am the next one up the shaft, climbing through the hatch, and I try to push open the door, and I can't. And I end up yelling at Faraday to get off the goddamn hatch. And then the charm effect wears off, she gets off the hatch, and we are now missing a 500-year-old tiefling, I'm using air quotes, who has decided to trick us and leave. Our next course of attack is to find this tiefling. So we report to our commanders, do that, and then that was kind of the end of our session. Our next session, we go to the Golden Fleece, which is a tavern, I believe. I believe it's just a tavern, not an inn, in this town. And we decided to do this because we figured he would go there given he wanted to get a drink. So we go into this tavern, and we look around, and our Jensei is the first one to spot him and immediately wants to decapitate him. Given the fact that she's a fire Jensei, and for whatever reason our characters get along really well, I try to calm her down and say, listen, he's evil, but we can't just kill him quite yet. Because my character is lawful good. So it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, we're gonna kill him. He's evil. Even I know he's evil and he did bad things, so we're gonna kill him. Come to find out that when we were talking to our commander, after this battle, he's a pit fiend. He is not a tiefling. Although he does look very much so like a tiefling with his horns. So there's that. And we fought him and he escaped, and now our entire team has to go to Garrick's Landing in this world, which is about a day's journey, and find the tiefling. So Dalcon of Barbs was described to us, other than the swimmer's body, as bearing wildly curly hair, leafy green eyes, and ram's horns, and always wearing a devilish smile. He has light skin, and his hair covers his ram's horns. So, to get to the drawing now, I don't have colors that you would normally use to make blonde hair, so I had to use a couple of browns and one of my yellows. It took me forever. This piece took me an hour and a half, 2 hours to completely do, and it's not a large piece, so it was a little obnoxious. But I gave him light skin and blonde hair to the best of my ability, and green eyes to the best of my ability. They're not as leafy green, they're more of like a sap green or a cool green, so I probably would have done them a different color green had I had more options. And I wanted to make his ram's horns gray, but because I only really have like gray browns and not actual grays that would work for this, I went in with my maroon, and I believe it's the copper marker, and I used the copper for shading initially, or at least to map out my shading, and then colored in all of his horns with the maroon. I gave him a red shirt because he's evil, and I figured that would work well, and the only clothing he's been described as wearing is, other than the loose pants, is a red demonic-looking robe. So I gave my demonic friend a red shirt, and that was that. This piece I really enjoyed making. I have been working on this piece for at least a week, trying to get his proportions right, make him look correct, and I'm still not completely happy with it. I feel like the horn could have been done better, but with my limited amount of knowledge on how to draw horns, I kind of took it easy on myself and said, you know what, it'll be better next time that you draw a tiefling or the next time you draw a Dalcon. So I kind of let that go, but I really love the rest of it. I showed the sketch to our DM and he loved it. So it was a lot of fun to make this piece, and I am very excited to do another installment to the series. And I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be, let's see. Don't hold your breath because I don't know if it'll actually be this character, but I believe I'm going to do Faraday next, or I'm going to do the Jensei. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed the piece of art, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone!
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out another one over there, and if you want to see the full playlist for this series, check out over here. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!